Resident Evil 4 is one of the biggest, best-selling games of all time. And it's the game that created the action horror game genre that we all know and love. You play as Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil 2, as he fights and shoots his way in a small Spanish village and castle to save the US President's daughter, Ashley Graham. The game has, from the start, an innovator in the survival horror genre because instead of dealing with fixed camera angles, inventory management, but with a basic sense of horror and emphasis of horror, you still get the same horror gameplay, but this time you'll be able to shoot your way through problems now with handguns, rocket launchers, machine guns, shotguns. And the gameplay was very innovative, even though it's linear, very linear. Basically, it focuses on action instead of inventory management, and that alone is a great innovator, and created many games based on the action horror genre that we all know and love. And to this day, most fans of the series consider Resident Evil 4 as the best entry ever made, alongside with Resident Evil, the Resident Evil remake for the GameCube. If you ever want to start playing a Resident Evil game, start with Resident Evil 4, and then play the Resident Evil remake. Then go play the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes before you start with Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6, 7, and 8. Because if you love Resident Evil 4, then you're going to love most of the games in the series. And in my opinion, Resident Evil 4 is more like a black comedy, somewhat spoofing the game series. Try to change my mind. Now, it's announced that around last year that Resident Evil 4 will be getting another port, this time for the Oculus VR by Facebook. By Facebook's company, working for Facebook or whatever. But really, I just read through this article, and I want to tell you straight up that if you actually plan to buy the Resident Evil 4 remake, the Resident Evil 4 version, the Oculus VR version of Resident Evil 4, I will not buy it. And if you have a pre-order for the Oculus VR version, I would cancel your pre-order immediately, because it's going to be substantially difficult and basically removed all the charm of what the Resident Evil 4 game is. Exclusive. Capcom allows Facebook to deface and modify Resident Evil 4 for Oculus VR remake. Removal of content and significant revisions have been made to Resident Evil 4 story and dialogue to please the gaming access media and the identitarian social justice crowd. The crowd that doesn't play video games unless it's a cell phone game. Now, if you can look at the actual article, for many gamers, the upcoming Resident Evil 4 VR remake is the IT game for 2021, soon to be released for the Oculus Quest 2 on October 21st. Much time, money, and effort have been put into this remake of the classic horror shooter by its new developer, Amateur Studios, and IP owner Capcom. As announced by Oculus executive producer Ruth Brand, Facebook, owner of Oculus, is sponsoring gamers innovative gameplay changes to take advantage of VR. If they actually stuck to innovative gameplay changes to take advantage of it, and leave the story and dialogue alone, I would recommend buying this game. And they vowed there will be changes to the dialogue and story. And if it's done so, it will be done so reverently. Evidently, it's a lie. Apparently, Oculus Studios actually, yes, they own Oculus, basically lied, as revealed in this article. because the most notable changes is dialogue, deletion of some scenes, and achievements that basically changed the entire tone of the game from a humorous into a point black comedy inside of an action horror game to just a plain action horror game. And the real reason why they're actually doing it to please the gaming news media and the social justice warriors. These things are not made for you. They're made for the gaming news media and social justice crowd. And believe me, the gaming news media is full of political activists that hate their own genre. Now it has been revealed that in the translated Japanese introduction of a leaked cover for the game development video tracking the censorship, the developers note that any content specifically related to sexual harassment, sarcastic expressions, sexist conversations, and expressions that may be indirectly linked to them have been removed. This basically changed the entire tone. The entire tone, and basically gets rid of all the comedic aspects of the game. And the real question is, did Capcom allow this? Unfortunately, yes, they allowed this. As states, these were not unavoidably removed as part of the translation or porting process, but were done by Amateur Studio at the request of Oculus VR and the approval of Capcom. Okay, where is Amateur Studio is located? It's located in Austin, Texas. Now, where is Facebook located? California. And where is Japan? Where is Capcom located? In Japan. Why would Japan allow this cultural defacement of Resident Evil 4? Basically, Oculus VR requested the changes made. And somehow, Capcom from Japan approved it. Why? Seriously, why? Gamers don't want this. Resident Evil fans don't want this. People who play the Resident Evil series, especially those who play Resident Evil 4 as their first Resident Evil game, don't want this. Why are they doing this? Again, the article is being done for the gaming access media. The same people that don't play video games and they hate their own genre. What they did to the dialogue is that they literally censor it. They either remove the dialogue or they leave radio static, or at least their dialogue where they used to be. And the worst thing is that they remove the post-credits ending to the Resident Evil 4 game. They completely removed it. Even the achievement names have been scrubbed or sanitized to remove the comedy aspects, the black comedy aspects. This is literally censorship, and I do not approve of this game. Matter of fact, I will refuse classification of this game due to the fact it's been censored. I mean, why do they do this? Why Capcom allow this? Why would Facebook request the changes? The price of doing business together? This is not worth the price. Capcom, what Capcom should have done is that told them very explicitly, you can only change the gameplay, but not the dialogue, the tone, or the story. I have no objection to remakes as long as the story itself, the dialogue, and the characterization has not been changed. These games are a part of their time, and should be preserved as it is. I have no objection to a disclaimer saying that the game is part of their time and any dialogue is a reflection of that time. And Facebook has been lying to their audience. Literally lying to their audience. Seriously, don't buy Resident Evil 4 Oculus VR. Don't buy this game. Seriously, I will not buy this game. Even if it's radically inventive, I will not buy this game whatsoever. I'm sorry, don't buy it. Cancel your pre-orders. Cancel your any plans to buy this game. You're better off playing the original again. You're better off playing the physical copy of Resident Evil 4 or the Steam version of Resident Evil 4. Matter of fact, if you have your physical copy, keep it. Don't sell it. Because I bet that Capcom may change the dialogue or implement the same changes that they made to Resident Evil 4 Oculus VR Remake. It's going to happen. This is J Kids for the Ministry of Otaku speaking out. Hope you have a good evening. And don't buy the Oculus VR version of Resident Evil 4. And if you do, you're part of the problem.